Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. I'm glad you're here. I just made some interesting discoveries about the finches of the Galapagos Islands that I wanted to share with you.
Oh, you mean the discoveries by Charles Darwin?
Yes, exactly.
The discoveries that solidified his ideas of natural selection?
Yes, but do you know how he did this?
No, not specifically. I'm just an intern.
That's okay. That's why you're here, to learn. Let me explain. Let me take you back to 1831 to South America in the Galapagos Islands.
In 1831, a man named Charles Darwin began his 5-year-long journey that would result in groundbreaking studies in evolution. His theories consisted of adapting to your environment in order to survive. He did specific studies with finches on the different islands in the Galapagos to further prove his theory and helped in the formation of the idea of natural selection.
Interesting. Is that a finch? Very interesting.
What? Another finch?
Great Scott! There's 4. But wait, same bird, different beak? They have to be different birds.
That would make the most sense, but sometimes science makes us ask questions that we have to find the answers to.
As you can see, each bird looks the same other than the size and shape of their beaks. These are the 4 main species of finches that Darwin observed in the Galapagos Islands. The first one is the large brown finch, which feeds on grains and fruit. The second one is the medium ground finch, which primarily eats seeds, but also the nectar from cactus flowers and young leaves. The third type is the green warbler finch, which feeds on small insects with its thin beak. The fourth finch is a small tree finch, which has a slender, slightly curved beak, which allows this bird to get insects and larvae from the leaves and the bark of the trees. He was not very familiar with birds, so he killed and preserved the specimens to take back to England with him, where he could collaborate with an ornithologist, John Good. This chart shows the evolution of the mainland finch from the coast of South America. There is a total of 13 species and subspecies that evolved from a single ancestor.
So what did he discover?
Well, it turns out that the Darwinian selection enables the birds to effectively get their food depending on what they eat and what resources they have. For example, insects, seeds, nectar from cactus flowers, leaves, and the blood from iguanas are all eaten through different beaks.
That makes much more sense now. So because of this, the Galapagos Island finches are broken down into 4 different species.
Which are the ground, the tree, the vegetarian, and the warbler finches.
Yes, exactly. According to this source. This is a result of adaptive radiation, which is when one species begins the process of evolution and branches into multiple species with different qualities.
The smallest are the warbler finches, and the largest is the vegetarian finch. The most important difference between the species are the size and shape of their beaks.
Oh, I see. So therefore, Darwin's finches are a classic example of adaptive radiation. Their common ancestor arrived to the Galapagos Islands about 2 million years ago.
Indeed, and during the time that has passed, Darwin's finches have evolved into 15 recognizable species, differing in beak size, feeding habits, song, and color. Most recently, evolutionary biologists Peter and Rosemary Grant have spent many years in the Galapagos, seeing changing climatic conditions from year to year dramatically altering the food supply.
As a result, some of the finches would have either lived or died, depending on which species' beak structure was best adapted for the most abundant food, just as Darwin would have predicted.
Darwin's finches, inhabiting the Galapagos Islands, constitute an iconic model for studies of speciation and adaptive evolution.
A team of scientists have now shed light on the evolutionary history of these birds and identified a gene that explains variations in beak shape within and among species.
Hey, Sam.
Oh, hey, Alyssa, you'll never guess what I just learned today.
What?
Well,